Hello, everybody. This is your host, Johnny Pluchek, along with my co-host, Jason Grasty.
What's going on, world?
We're here to break down the Pirates Fantasy League. We got our owners meeting today, and we have everybody selected their keepers, and me and my partner here are going to go ahead and break that down for you. First off, I want to start by letting everyone know that's not familiar with the league. This is a 10-man PPR league. We keep 5 keepers, and we have a salary cap of $24,000. Today we kept our keepers. We didn't have any other major news, nothing going on.
No votes for anything today, or?
So we're going to jump right into it then. Now, we're going to go ahead and start with our last place team. That was the Swamp Foxes last year with a record of 3-10. What were the keepers?
Swamp Foxes said they were keeping Matt Ryan, DeMarco Murray, who's pretty good, Kelvin Benjamin, Stephon Diggs, and then his last one, Derrick Henry.
Okay, well, let's start at the top. We had Matt Ryan, his quarterback. We're very important in this league, because this league, if we didn't mention it, is 10 passing yards per point. Most leagues are 25, so it really puts a value on QB. Matt Ryan had 750 points in our league last year with an average record of 46.9 points per game. He also keep in, which is DeMarco Murray. So he's in at 297 points with an 18.6 per game average.
I got him showing a 6 overall right now on my list over here.
Beast. I like that pick. All right, so then we had Stephon Diggs. More points than I thought he had. He ended last year with 203 points and an average of 12.7 points per game.
I got Stephon Diggs as 28th on my top 50 list.
Whew. Well, there's a sleeper that's now a keeper. All right, let's see. To finish it up, we had Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry only came in with 105 points last year, and that's an average of 6.61 points per game. Whew. What is there to say about Derrick Henry?
Being behind DeMarco Murray, I mean, you know, DeMarco's the starter. He's going to see the bulk of the workload. Derrick Henry's probably set for maybe a little more production than last year, but not really worthy of being a keeper in my book.
Yeah, I don't want to keep anybody where I'm hoping the guy in front of them gets hurt so that I can get some playing time.
Yes.
All right, well, we're going to go on. We're going to head to the next team on our list. That next team on our list is the Brutus Buckeyes. They came in with a whopping 4 wins last year, 9 losses. Grasty, what were their keepers?
We got Andrew Luck. Anybody know when he's going to be playing for sure? T.Y. Hilton, Dez Bryant, Sammy Watkins, and Father Time, Adrian Peterson.
Well, okay, let's break them down slowly but surely then. We'll start with Dez Bryant. He came in with 188 points last season with an average of 11.79 points per game. That's low. Dez Bryant.
I think with Zeke's suspension, Dez is going to see a little more workload early in the season. He's kind of the veteran there, the leader. They're going to have to lean on him. I think Dez is a worthy keeper.
Yeah, I don't usually get too much into strength of schedule when I'm looking at my players, but for Dez Bryant, for this wide receiver and what he has to go through, not only do they have to he plays Patrick Peterson, he plays the Redskins, so he's playing Josh Norman twice. He has a lot of tough quarterbacks on the schedule this year, so we'll see. Next one, we got T.Y. Hilton. He came in with a 288.8 points with an 18-point per game average. That is a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, T.Y. though is only as good as Andrew Luck. No Andrew Luck, no T.Y. really.
Yeah, and they just lost their starting center.
Yes.
Oof. Yeah, coming off an injury, getting tackled, no center. Ooh, yeah, that's going to be tough. Okay, well, let's head on down the list here. We got this next one, Sammy Watkins. Now, Sammy Watkins only produced a whopping 88 points last season for an average of 5.5 per game.
Sammy's in a new offense, though, with a gunslinger now. I mean, what's he going to do out there in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Jared Goff's got to be able to get the ball to him, though.
Man, but if you were going to tell me that Sammy Watkins was going to be traded, I don't think I could have thought of a worse place for him to be traded than to the Rams.
Definitely not. I think that him as a keeper this year, because of the offense he went to, he's not worthy to make a keeper in my book. You could have found somebody that has more upside on your roster.
Oh, yeah. All right, and the ageless one, Adrian Peterson. Didn't do much last season, that's for sure. He had a whopping 10 points. That breaks down to 0.6 per game. Not a great average, but he was hurt. Does he stay healthy?
In my case, I hope not, because Mark Ingram is one of my keepers. So I'm betting that Mark Ingram gets the majority of the workload. AP will probably see some red zones, some short yardage plays or something. But I think they try to keep AP healthy till further on in the season. I don't think they expend him here early.
I don't know. Week 1 in Minnesota.
Well, week 1, given, he's probably going to go out there and they're going to let him run full all over Minnesota. But after that, I think they try to preserve him. He's too old to be the workhorse when you got Mark Ingram right there.
Yeah, they got to get him that one. All right. Well, let's move on down the line. Next, we're going to Team Beast Mode. Team Beast Mode finished with actually 6 wins last season, almost made the playoffs. If not for some, let's just say, questionable moves, may have made the playoffs. What was his keepers?
I definitely like his first one right here. We're going with Famous Jameis. I like what he's doing this year. Then we got LaShawn McCoy, Spencer Ware. I got to make sure I'm reading this right. Demarius Thomas and Terrell Pryor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there.
Beast Mode's doing a little gambling on his keeper.
Well, he's always been one to just give it his best shot, I guess. Let's go over some of these picks, I guess. Let's start with the good ones. LaShawn McCoy, 308 points last season, 19.2 points per game. Beastly.
Shady's definitely going to do what Shady does. I mean, that's a no-brainer right there.
No Sammy in Buffalo, they got to run.
Yes.
All right, let's drop down. Let's go to Demarius Thomas next. This is one.
Quarterback struggles, man. Quarterback struggles scare me from this right here. Who's going to be the quarterback? Can the guys that are competing even throw the ball? I mean, Simeon, we saw last year, is running the mill.
Well, even last year with his run-of-the-mill quarterback, he still finished with 233 points per game with a 14.5 point per game average. That is way higher than I thought.
Yeah, but that 14.5 point game average was 4 or 5 games were good games, and then 4 or 5 games were I should have sat him on the bench this week.
Oh, his efficiency is terrible because his balls, he's not getting anything actually thrown to him.
Exactly. And Emmanuel Sanders on the other side from him, it creates a little havoc over who's going to get the ball that weekend.
All right, let's see here. You said Jameis Winston. Now, Jameis Winston finished last year with 590 points, finishing with 36 points per game average. I mean, he's bad. Young. He's a keeper league. I see where he's going with it. They definitely made strides on the offensive side of the ball.
The addition of Deshaun Jackson is big for Jameis Winston because he's got a big arm. He can air it out. Now you got Mike Evans on the opposite side. You're going to have 2 targets, one of which will break free almost every time.
Well, and it's their defense is not very good. Let's just face it. I mean, they don't have a powerhouse defense, so they are going to have to score points to win games.
Yeah, we have a defense that can not kill you, but it's not going to win the games for you.
All right, now, did you say he was keeping C.J. Anderson?
No. C.J. Anderson was not there. It was Terrell Pryor and Spencer Ware.
Okay, now I like the Terrell Pryor move. I mean, I think he's going to be targeted. I think he's going to be targeted a lot. Last season, he only had 215 points total with a 13.5 point per total average, but he had some big games, and that was on Cleveland.
I was about to say that's a Cleveland offense. If you do that with Cleveland, I feel any other team you go to, you just pretty much added 50 points on your season.
I wish that Deshaun Jackson and some other pieces had stayed there in Washington with it, so he wouldn't have to come over and take that double team on every route like he did last year. I think it would have helped out a whole bunch. All right, and his last keeper, Tyler.
No, Spencer Ware.
Spencer Ware. Ooh, man. He's a starter. He's a starting running back. I mean, he scored almost 200 points, not quite 200 points last season with a 12 points per game average. I mean, they got the young rookie. Could do something.
Young rookie's probably not going to play a major role, at least not until halfway through the season.
Usually not in Andy
Spencer Ware
Reid.
should be the workhorse.
Usually in Andy Reid's systems, he doesn't allow for rookies to do a whole lot.
No.
So. But I do think come the end of the season, he might start losing carries, if not the job, if he starts having a couple bad weeks back to back. All right, let's see who we got next. Next, we got actually who should have been our third pick, but the way the lottery works, the ping pong balls bounce. Monsters of the Midway ended up with the fourth pick overall. Not a bad season. Ended up with 5 wins, 8 losses. The team was a lot better than what the record would indicate, though.
Definitely a great team on paper here. I mean, you look at his keepers. He's got Aaron Rodgers, DeAndre Hopkins, Howard from damn Chicago, Todd Gurley, and Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, you already know 50% of the fantasy books you look at, it's either him or Drew Brees are number 1 and number 2.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is a beast. I mean, and usually in most leagues, I would say Aaron Rodgers is for sure number 1. In this league, though, where passing yards mean as much as rushing yards, Aaron Rodgers is usually number 1 because not only is he going to get you those almost 5,000 yards passing, but he's also going to throw in another 400 yards rushing.
Yep.
And that's huge, especially when you're talking about 25 yards a point or 10 yards a point. But in our league, it's a toss-up. But he still finished last year with 759 points at a 47.5 point per game average. Averaging 47.5. That makes up for a lot of holes on your team.
Definitely. That allows you to be able to keep Howard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is a Chicago Bears fan by the name Monsters of the Midway. You probably figured that out. Jordan Howard, I mean, last year we had Langford, who was the number 1, and we thought was going to do something. Jordan Howard was the young rookie coming in, ended up taking the job. I wonder if the same thing happens again this season.
That worries me.
And then he jumps right into another running back with
Gurley.
Questionable, yeah, Gurley. 200 points last season at a 12.5 points per game average.
He's on a team that the offense doesn't know who they are. They don't know what they're doing. They're not clicking together. It's just like they're out there playing Friday Night Lights.
I mean, the hope is what you hope if you're a Gurley owner is that with the addition of Watkins coming over, it gives they can't put 8 in the box every time. They're going to have to put safety help over the top.
Jared Goff is your quarterback, unproven. I put 8 in the box until he burns me.
Yeah, that's the hope. That's why they brought him in. We'll see what happens there.
Sammy gonna play a full season?
He hasn't yet.
Exactly.
All right, next one on the list.
Clemson boys for you, just on a side note.
Next one, you said DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Oof, well, all right.
Who's the quarterback there right now? Do we know for sure?
I don't know. I don't think we want to know. It's probably going to be the rookie. If it's not from the beginning, eventually Watkins, he's going to earn the job.
How many of you Clemson fans are Houston fans now?
With DeAndre Hopkins last season with nobody, he had almost 200 points total, 12.3 points per game average.
Definitely DeAndre's a worthy keeper. He's a player that at any time can go off. If the quarterback can get him the ball, he will catch it, and his yards after catch is phenomenal.
Yeah, very beautiful.
He turns no plays into big plays. I like DeAndre Hopkins here.
Yeah, I think he's a good pick. Next, another one. Again, why this guy was in the lottery, I don't know. He's also got Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas had 262 points per game, 16 and a half points. I'm sorry, 262 total, 16 and a half per game. Michael Thomas, beast.
Beast. Drew Brees throwing him the ball.
No cooks.
Can catch the ball. Drew Brees loves a receiver that can catch the ball. Drew Brees, hey, I'm gonna throw you the ball. Go to the Buick and turn around.
Yeah. No, no cooks this year. That should help. Yeah. Great pick.
I think Thomas is geared to have a big year this year.
Definitely. All right, so we go next on our list. We actually get out of the lottery now, and now we're heading into the playoffs. The guys who are in the playoffs. So fifth pick, we got the South Lake Legends. Pretty good team, all accounts. Just had some injury problems last year.
Definitely. You'll be able to tell by his keepers on his injury problems that he had. We're going with Marcus Mariota for his quarterback right here. We got Zeke's going to be his running back when he comes back. We don't know if that's going to be 4 weeks or 6 weeks. Keenan Allen lost him in the first quarter of the first game of last season, kept him on IR all year just to keep him this year. Jordy Nelson, can't go wrong. And then his last one is Julian Edelman, who I like to talk about Edelman in a little bit.
Well, let's start out with Zeke. Let's see. Last year, 341 points, 21 points per game average. That's just ridiculous, especially for a rookie. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Zeke definitely come out last year and showed that he was here for business and that he knew exactly what he was doing.
But with Zeke, there's always a but. I gotta say, 6-game suspension as of this recording right now. 6-game suspension.
Can't stay out of trouble. How many times have you heard Zeke's name in the media since last season for a negative offense?
And you hold on to him. If he messes up again, it's a year.
You're losing for a whole season.
And but he's so good. You have to hold him, even if you lose the first season. You still got to hold him. Not mad at him at all for keeping Zeke.
No, you got to keep Zeke.
All right, Jordy Nelson, ageless wonder. What's he, 32 this year?
I think 32, 33.
So that's 310 points per game, 310 total, 19 and a half per game. Best quarterback in the league throwing the ball. Looks like a beast.
Yeah. You got to keep Jordy here. Once again, I'm in a dilemma with Jordy because you'll find out when we discuss my team. I kept his opposite.
Yeah, Jordy, how long can he do it? He's got the best one. Is he going to start losing a step?
I hope so, but I haven't seen it yet. Jordy still looked like Jordy the other night in the preseason game when I was watching him.
Yeah.
Running routes crisp, catching everything. And like you said, you got Aaron Rodgers who trusts him, so he's going to see the ball.
Yeah, definitely. All right, that's good. Let's go on to the next one. You said he's keeping Marcus Mariota. Now, that to me is interesting. He actually had 4 quarterbacks on his roster to choose from. One, Phillip Rivers, beast. Last year puts up 637 points. Carson Palmer, 590 points last season.
Old this year, though. Old.
Dak Prescott. And this is a Cowboys fan, ladies and gentlemen. Dak Prescott puts up 561 points. Doesn't keep him. Decides on Marcus Mariota. Puts up the least amount of points of all 4 quarterbacks he could have kept at 530 total points, 33 points per game average. I guess he's keep looking at potential, but
you know as well as I do from playing with him for a few years, he loves Delaney Walker. So he gets that combo if he keeps Mariota. And he's probably thinking he drafts Dak late in the draft.
Yeah. You're going to have to back up Mariota with somebody. He's going to have to do the same thing.
Definitely. Mariota likes to run, and running quarterbacks like to get hurt, tweak a hamstring.
For sure. All right, let's see. Edelman?
Edelman, who could be geared to have a big year. You got the greatest quarterback we've ever watched play in our generation throwing him the ball.
Now, they did have the addition of Cooks. came in and should take a few of the targets away.
Maybe until we see it. I mean, Edelman's proven. Brady trusts him.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time I've seen a superstar go to New England and not even have the ball thrown to him.
Chad Johnson played, one play the whole time in that season?
Yeah, they didn't throw him the ball at all. They just said, hey, just run 9 routes the whole time, and we maybe won't chunk you the ball. Never happened. And his last keeper is the ever-injured Keenan Allen, you mentioned before. He sat with him all season. He got a total of 12 points out of him last season. First game of the season, comes out, 5 catches, first game, looks like a beast. Halftime, he's hurt, non-contact injury. See you until next season, Keenan Allen.
I mean, Keenan Allen is definitely geared to do big things. You got a big arm in Phillip Rivers throwing him the ball, but you got a huge receiving core over there. You got Tyrell Williams is no little guy. You got the rookie, what's his name, Michael Williams coming out there now. I mean, there's a lot of competition at receiver, and they might try to keep Keenan Allen's workload a little light just so he don't get hurt in the first 5 minutes of this season.
Yeah, that's weird. Those first years back from especially non-contact injuries like that, soft tissue, it's scary, but, I mean, you sat him on him all season, you got to keep him. And by the looks of his team, I'm looking over it. I mean, other than that, maybe if he doesn't keep him, he maybe keeps Matt Forte, Larry Fitzgerald.
Matt Forte still playing?
He's still in there. I mean, the Jets ain't got nobody else.
He's got to be close to, what, 40 by now?
Yeah, I think it's just him and one other guy they're playing offense for the Jets. That's it. All right, let's go to our next team. And again, we're getting into the playoff teams now. We actually got Grasty team here. We're gonna go over this one a little bit. He had a lot of movement last season. A lot of trades. Worked out. You know, at the time, people didn't believe, but ended up working out good for him. Made a playoff run. Made it to the playoff. What were the keepers?
Keepers are, before I start, I got to say, Le'Veon, my boy, let's sign our papers. Let's do work right here because you are my first stud keeper. You are the franchise, man. Sign your papers. And then we got Mark Ingram, Doug Baldwin, Devontae Adams, and Alshon Jeffrey.
Not a bad little start. Let's start with the easy. Let's get the easy one out of the way. Le'Veon Bell. By all accounts, arguably the best, if not second best running back in the league. 323 total points. 20
After
points
missing
per average.
4 games, missed 4 games and put up these points.
That's
now.
huge.
Make sure we point that out.
That's huge. And that really is. There's not many people. We haven't spit out, I think we only had one other 300-point guy so far that we talked about at the top of the list, other than quarterbacks. So, I mean, he is just a beast. After 4 games, 300 points, that's ridiculous. I mean, what do you say? He's one of the best.
Definitely.
I don't like him
To be
holding
one of the best, you got to be on the field.
I don't like him holding out, though. I mean, that just screams hamstring injury.
Yeah, you can't just show up and do work. Got to have your body conditioned. Got to have your body toned. I believe he's working out at home, but working out at home is not taking these little hits, these little bumps that you get in practice. It's a big deal. You're messing up, Le'Veon. Stop in.
All right, let's hit to the next one. Next one, Mark Ingram. This one was you got him in a trade.
Yeah.
Last season. Ended up working out good for you. I mean, I don't think anyone at the trade thought it was. They thought Ingram was done. And he ended up beasting out for you. 250 points. 15.5 points per game average.
We had a lot of controversy going on in that backfield last year. Him and Sean Payton having words. Hightower getting to see about 50% of the action, which is what scares me with AP this year is. How are we going to use AP down there? How are they going to use Mark Ingram down there? He's a big gamble for me. But I feel that when I made the trade for him, I knew he was going to be my keeper. I got faith in him, so I rolled with him.
Yeah. Let me say, it's scary, but I mean, he's putting up points. The points he's putting up, you can't contest.
Catches the ball. AP ain't never been known for catching the ball.
That's true. All right, let's move on. We got Doug Baldwin.
Doug Baldwin, Seattle, geared for a big year,
He's
man.
the number one, right?
Definitely the number one out there. Russell Wilson trusts him. He loves him. Throws the ball to him, man. He won me games last year.
266 points last season at 16.65 points per game. Again, I mean, anytime you get close to 300 points, you guys are doing work, especially for receivers when they start getting up there. I mean, when you get out of the the Julios you know, the Browns and the Beckhams. When you get out of those guys, Doug Baldwin's right there in that second tier.
Definitely.
All right. Next, we're looking at who is the next guy?
Devontae Adams.
Now there's, I mean that now. I say we're doing that's a potential pick, but when I look closely at these points, 257 points last year, averaging 16 points per game. That's not looking at projections. That's what I'm doing right now. That's big.
That's 12 touchdowns, tied 4th in the league for receivers last year. I mean, he's got some upside. He's got Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball. Jordy Nelson.
Oh, I thought we were talking about.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Devontae Adams. He's got Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball. We all know Aaron Rodgers isn't scared to throw the ball. He's going to put the ball up. Devontae Adams is his biggest target on the field at that time at wide receiver. Jordy Nelson's a little bit older. He's been hurt past couple of years a couple of times. I got faith in Devontae showing out this year. Last year of his rookie contract, he's trying to get paid. I think he's going to do big things.
Yeah, I mean, all signs point that way, and if you got to take a chance on somebody, take a chance on the guy that's got the best quarterback in the league throwing the ball. Last one?
Alshon, who I just acquired in a trade right a couple of weeks ago from, as a matter of fact, you.
It was a good trade, pretty equal. Alshon Jeffrey, I mean, when he is on the field, he stays healthy a full season. That's a number one wide receiver. That is a top. He has the ability, if he's healthy all season, to be a number one fantasy wide receiver. It's just, can he stay healthy? And are they going to use him?
Well, I definitely think they're going to use him from what I'm seeing in the preseason right now. Half of his targets are towards Alshon Jeffrey. I think they said like 53% of what he's targeted so far has been to Alshon.
Well, I mean, they really ain't got nobody else.
No.
I mean, especially
Jordan's gone.
Yeah, they just got rid of him. So that's they got to get him. They got to throw the ball somewhere. Last season, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they throw the most pass attempts in the league?
I believe so. Carson Wentz. I know he had I don't know if it was the most, but I know he was up there.
Yeah, so they'll get a shot. That's not bad. All right, we're gonna move right along. Coming up now on Buckeye Haters. Now, the Buckeye Haters had a great team, rolled the regular season. This is the number one overall seed going in the playoffs. His team last season was absolutely ridiculous.
Points leader last season.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
by far, hands down. When you played him that week, he was, oh, well, I'm just watching for fun.
Yeah, no one wanted to play that guy all season. I mean, it was, tell him what his keepers are. And then, now, he's going to read off his keepers. Before he does that, I'm going to let you know, he just traded away Odell Beckham Jr. And who was his other trade? No, he just traded away Odell Beckham Jr. and he still has these keepers right there. He's about to stay out.
Rolling with, in my opinion, the number one running back, David Johnson. Then you got Melvin Gordon, Jay Ajayi, Antonio Brown, and Allen Robinson.
So the most trouble with Allen Robinson, he's going to be the most to talk about because he's only as good as the offense he's in, and there is no offense.
I don't think it's the offense. I think it's the quarterback. And I mean, the fact that he's at preseason and he's in training camp and he's actually going to the media and talking shit about his quarterback, getting on his quarterback's ass, telling him that he's not throwing the ball right. I don't know if that's the best way to get the guy to throw you the ball. But, squeaky wheel gets the oil, I guess. That's what he's thinking.
Kaepernick, keep your eyes open, man. Jacksonville hiring.
But I think he got, if I'm not mistaken, he got Robinson on the back end of that trade where you got a first-round pick and him and a second-round pick.
And a second. He got a first, a second, and Robinson for OBJ.
Yes, which, I mean, so we'll see what he does with those picks.
Which the guy making the trade with him had 2 first-round picks and has got an extra third-round pick. So really, he didn't lose anything in the mix.
No, it was a good trade both ends.
Good trade both ends. Worked out for both guys.
Still, just to have that beast of a team after that trade, after you get rid of one of the best wide receivers in the game, your team is still beastly. He's still got arguably the best running back in the league last year.
Definitely, he's signed. You can't say Le'Veon is anything right now because he's sitting on the couch eating Fruit Loops.
That's true. And his points, I think this is the first 400-point player, 415 points last season, averaging 26 points per game. By far, best in the league. Usually the #1 overall pick in any draft you're going to be in. David Johnson.
I just watched a video of him standing in 3-foot deep pool and jumping out onto the edge like it was nothing. Just a little hop. I mean, beast.
He is.
Marshawn Lynch used to be beast mode. David Johnson is the new beast mode.
He is.
Nobody matches his running.
Speed, too. He's got the speed, power, size, everything you could want. Yeah, #1, definitely great. And then he follows that up. Well, I got the #1 running back in the league. Yeah, might as well have the #1 wide receiver in the league, too. He's got Antonio Brown.
Big things coming for Antonio this year with the Martavius Bryant being back in the lineup. You can't double Antonio as easily now. Antonio opens up. We know by far Big Ben's favorite target is Antonio Brown. That's his new Hines Ward.
And they're going to try and work with your boy being out for the beginning part of the season. They're probably going to try and work Antonio Brown a little bit more so that Bell can have time to adjust his system so that when he does come back, they're not going to give, Bell 30 carries in the first game that he's back when he's not had any training camp. They're going to work him in slowly. That helps in Brown's numbers in the beginning of the season.
Definitely.
I mean, #1 running back, #1 wide receiver, just a beast of a team.
Decent running backs to back him up also.
Oh yeah, so his next running back is Melvin Gordon. Now this was his first round pick last year. He ended up with 257 points and a 16 points per game average. I mean, what can I say? Last season he looked great, but who is Melvin Gordon? Is he last season Melvin Gordon?
Or is he the season before last season Melvin Gordon?
Who knows? I mean, the team was injured a lot last season, so they leaned on him a little bit more. I think that changes this year. I think they go a little bit more balanced. I still think he's the workhorse. I see him about where he was last season, maybe a little bit low. I'd probably project him around 240, but not too far. Definitely when you're talking about your #2 running back, beast.
Definitely. And then to follow him up with Jay Ajayi for your #3 running back. I mean, 3-back attack every week right there that can eat you up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jay Ajayi, 230 points last season, 14.5 points per game. That's 3 running backs that you got. I mean, those 3 running backs, those 2 wide receivers, doesn't matter who you put at quarterback and tight end, you're not going to like playing that guy that week.
Not at all.
And, I mean, he has a bunch of picks in the first 2 rounds. He's only going to get better. I'm thinking we're probably looking right here at our #1 seed again this season. All right, well, let's move along since we're all kind of depressed about hearing about his great team. We'll go to the Chucktown Pirates.
Commish right here, our commissioner.
This is the commish. Now, the commish, he's usually a staple in the playoffs every year. He's won it. Once, twice already, always in top. Beast team, always, have good drafts, with good moves.
But let's seem to know when players are going to get hot and know when to put them on the field.
Yeah, but let's see exactly what he did here with his. He had a couple of them that we were a few questions about.
He's got what I think is going to be the nastiest receiving core in our league this year. So first, he started off with Carlos Hyde, only running back he kept. Then he follows that up with Mike Evans, A.J. Green, Odell Beckham Jr., and Golden Tate. Keeping 4 receivers here, folks.
Yeah.
Only start 3 in our league.
Only 3, so but I mean, he does have an older A.J. Green. Definitely, when you talk about older wide receivers, you talk about could be injury prone. So I see where he was coming with
This
that.
is why I say his receiving core is the nastiest, because if one of his receivers goes down, he has a worthy wide receiver 1 to step into their place already.
Golden Tate's 90 catches this year, 1,000 yards. I mean, if that's your backup,
he's got an insurance policy right there. His receiving core remains solid all year long.
yeah, I mean, he probably has the top 3 wide receivers, but I still think when you look at just the best, you're still looking at Buckeye.
He's got 3 of the top 5.
Yeah.
Definitely. You take out Antonio Brown and you take out Julio, and the next 3 are
I don't
AJ
think
Green.
I put Mike Evans top 5. I think he's in for a regression. I think last year we seen a great year out of Mike Evans. I think with the addition of Deshaun Jackson, he's
I
going
think
to
that
take
only
away
helps
some
him.
stuff. At least maybe a couple touchdowns.
I think a couple of those big plays that he was double covered for last year, and Jameis still tried to force him the ball. I think he's open for him this year because Deshaun's got the double coverage on the other side.
Well, I'm not saying he's going to have a bad season by no means. I'm just saying if you compare him to the huge 310 points he put up last season for almost 20 points per game average, I don't see that. I see 280, 275, something like that. Not bad season, but I just don't think he can repeat those numbers from the year before. All right, then we'll go down the line, look at his running back, his lone running back.
Carlos Hyde.
Carlos Hyde. Now,
Is he working out in the system he's in right now?
that was a head scratcher for me. Now, when he was looking at when he kept Carlos Hyde, he had a couple more he was looking at. He could have kept either LeGarrette Blount or Doug Martin. Either one of those two he could have kept, but he chose Carlos Hyde. Why did he choose Carlos Hyde?
He's a Carlos Hyde believer, man. He's got faith in Carlos Hyde. The Shanahan offense is known for making a running back look better than what he really is. You got a decent running back right here already. You put him in a Shanahan offense, he should be great.
Yeah, I mean that's the hope of the whole thing, isn't it? And he's got a top quality wide receivers. I mean, yeah, I don't see where.
Definitely OBJ with the addition of Brandon Marshall is geared to, I think, have a big year. I think that helps him out. Like I said, with Deshaun Jackson, I think that helps Mike Evans out a little bit. And A.J. Green, we all know you put it up in his vicinity, that's a catch.
But I will tell you, A.J. Green, last season, I thought he had a better season than this. He only finished with 206 points.
Out 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Injury, getting old, getting hurt.
I guess that's why he kept Golden Tate.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Exactly.
All right. Well, now we're coming up to my team, the Panty Raiders. I was won my division last season. Came in. Made it all the way to the championship game. Lost, of course. That's why I'm in ninth. What will I keep you?
Like you don't know, Drew Brees is right there at the top of the list. Who we got? Drew Brees, Julio Jones, Amari Cooper. Is that Gronk I'm seeing right there?
Mm-hmm.
And Isaiah Crowell.
Okay. Well, let's go with the easy ones first. Drew Brees,
No-brainer.
Traded for him last season. Knew I was keeping him.
Most passing yards in the league for the last, 100 years that he's been playing?
780 points last year he put up for me. 49 points per game. Tops any player in the league. It's probably why he's the most expensive player in the league this year.
You are just hung up on that, aren't you? Just hung up. He's $30 more.
He's expensive. All right, next we got Julio Jones. My opinion, physically, probably one of the best wide receivers, probably the best wide receiver in the league physically.
Freak of nature.
If God was making a wide, you were saying, I want to make a wide receiver, you build Julio Jones. Over 6 feet tall, fast, strong, can catch, everything you want. Ride out with him. But he still only got me 280 points last year. 17.5 points. Fluctuation, had a couple huge games, a couple games didn't play, but that's Julio.
When he come back from the injury, he took it slow a couple of games. He didn't play full games.
Yeah, and he still put up almost 300 points, so I'm not going to complain, and definitely.
He's geared to have a big year. Atlanta's got something to prove after the beatdown they took in the Super Bowl when they had it pretty much locked up.
Yeah, that's the hope. You hope they come out pissed off and mad, but I tell you, it's not. History isn't on their side. You talk about Super Bowl losers do not usually come back the following year for reasons.
Carolina, a prime example last season. Cam what?
Cam's always been on that 1 year hot, 1 year cold kind of deal. So this year he should do pretty good.
So make Cam a top pick this year.
All right, next we got Amari Cooper. That's a bit of a homer for me, Oakland Raider fan. Love him. Amari Cooper, 3rd year now this year in the league, hoping for a breakout. Last year still did good, 245 points, 15 points per game average. Good, not great. Great receptions, great yards, touchdowns.
All that just went up with the addition of Marshawn Lynch. You're putting 8 in the box now almost every play because you got to stop Marshawn. So, I mean, Amari and Michael Crabtree both are geared to have big years. And Derek Carr is not He's not scared to throw the ball.
I think Crabtree got put back in the draft too. No one kept
Yes,
him.
he did. Yes, he did.
Amazing. All right.
Prime time did not keep him, which
Really surprised me because he went off every time I played prime time last year.
Yeah, I was surprised too. All right, so then we'll get down we got Gronkowski again. That's one I don't even think we need to really go over.
No brainer. Number one tight end in the game, puts up receiver numbers. Roll with him.
Yeah, no problem. Let's just hope he stays healthy this season for once. All right, next we're looking at the controversial Isaiah Crowell trade. This one got a lot of heat, but I looked at Crowell. I seen an interview with Hugh Jackson saying that the one thing he wished he had done last year, give the ball more to Isaiah Crowell. And that means a lot to me. I think they got a better offensive line this year, and I think he's going to do better than he did last year. And last year, he didn't do bad.
I had Isaiah last year. That was our trade, was Alshon for Isaiah. And Isaiah, 1 week, come out, put you up 20 points. Next week, come out, put you up 2.6 points. I mean, just he's a big gamble being in Cleveland. Anywhere other than Cleveland, I think he's a good running back. I think he's a stud. Cleveland, I think you're down 21 at the end of the first quarter. You forget who your running back is. You got to air it out.
Right. I think he did finish last year with quite a few catches, though, which
He
is
did.
surprising when you got Duke Johnson on the field. But I heard Duke Johnson, they're going to be running at a slot wide receiver this year.
I heard something like that also, but I don't believe that until I see it.
We'll see. All right. Now we're coming to the end. We're coming to our champion, Prime Time. And actually, Prime Time, I think he really snuck into the playoffs last year. Didn't have a great regular season. Slides in and knocks off two of probably the best teams in the league in the playoffs to win. I mean, really good.
Definitely. He had a big trade last year that kind of helped him boost into where he ended up at. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But he started out with Tom Brady as a keeper. You got to keep Tom Brady. I don't care if he's 50. The way he's throwing the ball and the offense he's got, you got to keep him.
Until he shows you different.
Devontae Freeman, Lamar Miller,
Brandon Cooks.
and Greg Olsen.
All right. Well, Tom Brady, like you said, not much to talk about there. Beast. Of course, last season he only finished with 549 yards or points.
Suspended 4 games.
And 34 points per game average. You're right, suspended 4 games and still had almost as many points as the likes of Derek Carr,
Big Ben,
a lot of these guys. So even
put up 60 points 2 different times against me.
Father Time 40. I mean, there's only been 2 quarterbacks ever to play at 40, and they did not look like the same player. Are we going to see the same Tom Brady this year?
I think so, man. He doesn't really take hits. I mean, Tom Brady doesn't get hit that often. Belichick and them, they protect him pretty good, and he gets rid of it quick.
Mm-hmm. He does have that quick release, and if he's releasing it, he's probably going to his next keeper, Brandon Cooks. Now, this guy's coming over from New Orleans. We know he's got wheels. We know he's fast.
No Brady will throw it down.
But how, I mean, Brady's already has Edelman. He's got Amendola. He's got these little short guys.
Those aren't deep threats.
No.
Brady.
Cooks is your deep threat, but just like with Deshaun Jackson or any of these other guys that are mostly just deep threat down the field guys, can you count on him every week, or are you going to get the 22?
That's what I would be scared of keeping Cooks is 1 week Cooks might be the prime target, catch 3 big plays for 180 yards and 3 touchdowns. And next week he might catch 1 for 20, and that'd be it for the week. He scares me on what his upside could be right here. It's a gamble going into this Patriot offense.
Yeah, and if that was his 5th keeper, I would probably say roll with it, but it's not. Let's go over his other keepers real quick. We got Devontae Freeman, huge running back. I mean, huge.
Just got paid, about to show out.
Is he going to show out, or is he going to get that money and relax, trying not to get hurt like a lot of running backs do?
Yeah, I don't think Devontae Freeman's built like that, man. He's always ran hard, even when it wasn't contract year for him. He was putting up numbers. I think he likes being out there and proving, hey, I'm worth every penny that y'all just gave me.
I don't think that he can anyway. I think with Coleman behind him, if he starts slacking up, they're just going to.
They'll trade him off for the money they just paid him. You got to produce to stay there with this money, or else they're going to ship you off.
Yeah. Let's see. The next one we're looking at, Lamar Miller. Now this is another Another funny one I keep hearing every year. I hear Lamar Miller. He's a great running back. Lamar Miller. He's a great running back, and every year he puts up, like he did last year, 192 points, 12 points per game average. Is this going to be the year he breaks out? I mean, he's on Houston.
Who knows? I mean, has Houston really got an offense that is defined yet? We don't know who the quarterback for sure is going to be. We don't know anything about their offense. DeAndre Hopkins, we know he has good hands. Are they going to get the ball to him? If they're getting the ball to Hopkins, then that opens up the running game for him a little bit. But they can't just come out leaning on the running game because they're not that good.
Yeah, that's another risky one, man. I mean, he's got a couple risky ones. And then to follow it up with another risky one where, I would say if you had Cooks as your fifth keeper, he's a little risky, but everyone's fifth keeper's a little risky. If you had Lamar Miller for your fifth keeper, he's a little risky, but everyone's fifth keeper's a little risky. But when you got three and you decide I'm going to keep a tight end and his name isn't Rob Gronkowski, you open yourself up to some questions. Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen has proven, though, Cam Newton loves him. He's a favorite target of Cam Newton. Cam Newton last year did not have a great year points-wise in our league, but Greg Olsen had a great year points-wise in our league.
He finished with 217 points, 13.5 points per game average. For a tight end, great. Really good. Really good for a tight end. He was a beast. Carolina is not a passing team. They're not going to throw the ball 500 times. Is Greg Olsen still going to get those looks? I mean, this season, we'll see. It's iffy. I mean, tight ends are always funny because everyone says, wait on tight end, but there's only a couple of them out there that make a difference in the world.
Yeah, you got 3, maybe 4 elite tight ends, and then after that, it's run of the mill. Whichever one you grab is who they play in this week. I play matchups a lot with my tight ends. If you look, that's what I drop and pick up the most. Is I flip my tight ends around. I don't invest a lot in them.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the smart play. I mean, yeah, even the top guys when you're looking at tight ends, they all have injury concerns, except maybe Greg Olsen. Solid. Yeah. So that's the way that goes. All right. Well, I guess we've been kind of breaking this down for you. I hope everyone was entertained. I hope you. If you have any comments or anything, please put those below the video. Give me a good subscribe to the channel, a good liking down below. We always love those. Want to let you know that our draft time is next week, the 27th, 10 a.m. Hope to see everyone there. Had fun, Grasty. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I look forward to coming back again.